Marvelous hello, friends and loved ones, how are you today? You know, growing up, I never really played a lot of old adventure titles. Like I said in my last video, most of the PC games I played were educational puzzle games, so even though I was the right age for them, I never stumbled upon games from Humongous Entertainment, LucasArts, or of course, Sierra. I'd heard of most of their stuff throughout my life, sure, but I never actually played one of the older adventure titles until 2014, when I bought them all during a sale on GOG. And man, I can't believe I didn't play them sooner. Fantastic locations, clever writing, enjoyable characters, great puzzles, and so many puns! I was instantly hooked. So you can imagine my excitement when, towards the end of that same year, I heard the announcement that after 15 years, a new King's Quest was coming. Before I dive into the story or gameplay or any of that, the first thing I want to say is this game is so pretty! It's so beautiful! I mean, look at this! Look at it! I mean, just look at it! I want to live here! Everything in this game is hand-painted, and there are times when it blends 3D animation with 2D, and it creates a beautiful effect. I could stand here all day and just look at this. But we'll move on. The game opens up with a scene King's Quest fans may recall. The loyal knight, Sir Graham, making his way down a well to retrieve a magic mirror from a dragon. But before we go into that, I want to explain a bit more about what this game really is. The new King's Quest is told through two stories at any given time. In the present day, we have an elderly King Graham telling stories of his heroics to his granddaughter, Gwendolyn. I really like this as a framing device for the series, as it allows Graham to be his own narrator, instead of just a random, disembodied, soothing voice. Choices that Graham makes in the past will not only have an impact in his own future, but will affect an impressionable young Gwendolyn as well.
Can we get back to that dragon?
Right, yes. So, after retrieving the mirror from the dragon, this is where you'll encounter the first of the three choices you'll often find yourself with. Unlike a lot of games with choice systems, you're not choosing between good and evil, right and wrong, law and chaos, because Graham is already a good guy. Instead, you'll be making your choices between bravery, intelligence, and compassion. My first playthrough of this game, I found myself leaning mostly towards compassion, just because I found myself really loving these characters and wanting to be good to them. Once the tutorial is completed, it's not long before Graham starts telling us the story of his first day in Daventry. This is where most of the game takes place. Now that we're in the main game, the gameplay focuses on inventory puzzles and interactivity. You find things and use things on other things to get things. I'm good at adventure games. Oh, you have no idea how awesome it is to hear that. Can we listen to that again? Seriously, I'm not even overly nostalgic for the series, but I was so happy when I first heard that sound. And it's not long before we start getting more delightful puns.
That missing wheel had me stumped. I had to go out on a limb to get past the root of the problem.
Really? Tree puns? Come on, The Odd Gentleman, you're better than that. Try branching out a little bit more. You might find something that sticks. When Graham finally arrives at the Knight Tournament, we get to meet some of the other Knight hopefuls competing in it. There's Manny, Graham's first friend, Achaka, a stoic archer, Acorn, a powerhouse with a squirrel friend, and
Whisper!
Does Whisper's voice sound familiar to you at all? It should, considering it's Gaston. I mean, it's literally him. And according to his IMDb page, this is his first role since Gaston. So, I thought that was pretty darn cool. Plus, he really knocks it out of the park as Whisper.
Whisper loves thwarting evil, but most of all, Whisper loves Whisper.
In fact, all the characters in this game are well voiced, even down to the nameless guards. Everyone takes their role seriously enough to be in character, but always lighthearted enough that it's just fun. Graham's first quest is to obtain the eye of a hideous beast, which will allow him entry into the tournament. There are many ways you can go about this, but as always it boils down to bravery, intelligence, or compassion. There are 3 shops in town, each run by a character representing each route. There's Amaya, the blacksmith, who represents bravery.
I'm more of a meat and potatoes girl myself, but thanks.
I think I'm in love with this woman. Wente the baker, who represents compassion, and the Hobblepots, who represent intelligence. While I did find myself on the compassion route most of the time, I think the Hobblepots were probably my favorite of the 3. All of their dialogue was fantastic.
Did you just read my fortune?
No, we're just very old and very judgmental people.
It's true, we're judges. This is my judging phase.
In fact, I want to take a moment to talk about the writing in this game in general. It's really good. The dialogue is funny and the characters are engaging. From a writing standpoint, I'm in love with this game. Characters will often change their dialogue based on subtle things you do throughout the story, and it's all really solid and well put together, like some sort of structure that connects two things together, like made of wood or stone or... I can't think of anything. But my favorite characters in the entire game were undoubtedly the Bridge Troll Guild, consisting of Ulfi, Pilar, and Mr. Waddles. Due to the guards' constant stomping on their backs with sharpened heels, the trolls have decided to go on strike, so all the bridges in Daventry are gone. Graham eventually steps in and helps settle the matter, but I really loved the three trolls' dialogue together.
What is our strategy for getting those guards to stop stomping around on our backs?
Oh! They should cross barefoot without their sharp heels.
I think we should feast on their legs and force them to crawl over our backs.
Okay, now, both interesting perspectives.
Once everyone submits their eyes, the duels begin to see who will become the knight in King Edward's court. Graham must compete in duels of strength, speed, and wits. Since each other knight is representing one of these traits, Graham must figure out how to win for himself. I don't want to go into too much detail regarding these events, lest I ruin it for people who want to play the game for themselves. But I will say this. I am so unbelievably bad at this part of the game. With only the first episode out right now, King's Quest isn't a terribly long game. My first playthrough, I beat it in about 6 hours. There's a lot of replay value in this game, and a lot of puzzles have more than one answer, so you've got a bit more freedom to explore what you think is the right answer at the time. While I don't want to spoil the story, there's so much to be explored in this game. Daventry isn't a particularly huge area, and you can even stumble upon a few places that won't come into play until later episodes. And that's about it for Graham's first day in Daventry. You win the duels, become a knight, settle a strike, you even fight some goblins. The developers already confirmed they'll play a major role in episode 2, so I'm looking forward to see how your choices to deal with them in this episode will pay off. Nope. Nothing out of the ordinary here. Better keep walking. And of course, it wouldn't be King's Quest without some of those lovable death scenes. Let's watch a few of my favorites, shall we?
How did his cape taste, Mr. Fancy Cakes?
One other thing I want to mention in this game are the achievements. I really like the way the developers set these up, because while none of the achievements in this game are hard to get, most of them are tricky and require adventure game style logic and a desire to really explore the area. Also, this badger is my best friend. I love showing him off to as many people as possible.
Chaka, I don't mean to badger, but, you're right. Not the time or place.
If I had to give any complaints about this game, it'd be that skipping dialogue isn't an option. This can be frustrating when you find yourself accidentally listening to a character give the same response to a question, or when you're replaying the game and just wanting to get through it. You also can't save anywhere you like anymore, as the game employs an autosave system. For most games this is great, but for a game like this, I think it hurts it some, as you're unable to try out different ideas without starting over. I'm not sure if either of these will be implemented down the line, but they both kinda hurt the experience for me. At the end of the game, you get to see this tapestry showcasing the choices you made throughout the game. I really like this, as it lets you look back at your playthrough and just how you chose to tackle it. All in all, King's Quest is probably one of my favorite titles this year, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where it's going with the other episodes. Because right now, it feels like I'm just getting into the story, just getting ready to see where it goes, and then it's just...
The end.
Of this sentence? What's next?
Hey everybody, thanks for watching my review of the new King's Quest. I had such a blast with this game, and I hope I've encouraged some of you to give it a try for yourselves. Episode 2 should be coming out pretty soon. If you liked this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to see more stuff in the future. Let me know if you'd like to see me tackle more King's Quest down the road. If you'd like to see some of my other videos, you can watch me trying to gather up some shiny gold coins on the Yukon Trail by clicking the TV here. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, take care.